Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Carradine you to yet another Above the Rim basketball, college basketball thingy, Bobby. We are doing the 1986 tournament in which we have all the teams that came from above the rim, the seasons of 1985-86, but we have the 86 version, low season. So we will have 6 preliminary round games to get to, I believe, the round of 32, and then we'll go onwards. That we set that up from the last video, so let's see who's the kings of the 85-86 season. Our first matchup is Auburn versus Michigan, which sees Michigan nip Auburn 81-79. Chuck Person 38 points, the big boy for Auburn before Indiana drafted him, and it became the rookie of the year, if I remember correctly. Roy Tarpley 23 points. Tarpley was good, but then he was booted from the NBA for his gambling habits, I do believe. But yeah, he would have done well for everything. Illinois Duke. Duke went to the Final Four in 86 and will lose to Illinois 75-70. Unbelievable how Ken Norman, future Atlanta Hawk, with 8 points. Look at the guys. Jay Byler, 7 points. Jenny Dawkins, 6 points. Tommy Amaker, future Michigan head coach, with 11. Danny Henderson. Danny Ferry with 6 points. Yeah, Quinn Snyder. These guys went to the Final Four and they can't get out of that one. Navy versus UCLA. Navy had one of the best Cinderella runs ever. They got to the quarterfinals, and thanks to David Robinson, who was a junior at the time, 33 minutes, 22 points, 16 rebounds. The guy was amazing. He led his team to victory. UCLA had Regie Miller. Reggie Miller with 16 points. Pooh Richardson with 10. Hatcher with 27. Navy won. UTEP versus Maryland. Len Bias's final year and not his final game. They beat UTEP. Tim Hardaway on that team. UTEP, 2 points. Len Bias, 18 points, and Gatlin's got there too. So Maryland does that. Missouri UAB. AB with the win, 77-66. Ponder 18. Sam Mitchell? No, that can't be Sam Mitchell. Missouri with Bingleheimer and Chabas and Leonard. Weird names. 25 Blingenheimer. Oklahoma Bradley sees Oklahoma beat Bradley 89-79, led by Anthony Bowie with 8 points. McAllister with 31. Bradley Hersey Hawkins with 16 points in the loss. So 6 teams will join 26 more who qualified through. Our first matchup of note is Cleveland State against Louisville. Cleveland State also got in a Cinderella run. Well, they beat. Did they win the second round? I know they beat Syracuse in the first game, which was shocking. Yeah, on Syracuse's home court. But yeah, Louisville. Louisville were the 1986 champions, by the way. And Cleveland gave it everything they had, but they lost 101-91. It was a tough game. The bench only had 10 points for Louisville. Cleveland had the bench working. 20 points by Smith. Mouse McFadden with 17, but yeah, Billy Thompson 15. Quick never nervous Purvis Ellison with 29. Hall and Wagner. So yeah, 101-91. That was not nice. Alabama, Indiana. Bobby Knight will see his team lose to Bama. Derby Cuban, 19 points. Farmer, 21. Where's those folding chairs to throw across the free throw line? 22 points by Callaway. Steve Alford for 13. But no, Indiana would do much better the next year. Oklahoma, Kansas. Man, the great rivalry from the Big Eight. And Kansas wins 96-84. Danny Manning with 16 points. Kellogg with 14. Hunter with 17. 20 points each from Kennedy, McAllister, Anthony Willie, only 9 points. But these teams would do more. Danny Manning would do more 2 years later. Syracuse Navy. It's funny. Well, I think Syracuse got taken out by Cleveland State, didn't they? Or was it Navy who took down Syracuse? Can't remember. Nevertheless, Syracuse beats Navy 102-101 in overtime. Turner fouled out for Navy, no one for Syracuse. Alexis with 22 points, finally getting the starting rolling cycle 16. Pearl Washington with 24. 33 from David Robinson. And 11 blocks in the loss. But yeah. Addison made a 2 at the buzzer to get Syracuse to the overtime against Navy. Wow. Old Dominion ISU, and it's ISU winning 80-70 as Jeff Hornacek, future Jazz with 14, and future Sixer and Sun. Old Dominion, nobody got singled. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was period 2. Sorry, Hornacek with 23. Sorry about that. My stats are UAB Memphis, and Memphis beats up on UAB. Askew of 9, Bedford with 2, future NBA 24 from Holmes, UAB Mitchell with 16. Maryland versus DePaul. My bias will be on the sidelines. DePaul wins 81-79 in overtime. Rod Strickland with 17, Cummings with 22. Len Bias with 24 in his final game before going to Boston, but unfortunately, you know what happened. I don't need to repeat that. Look, Arkansas Little Rock versus St. John's, and it was easy. Little Rock had nothing, only 57 freaking points. Walter Berry put up 41 by himself. Holy St. Laurent. Only 2 points for the bench. Mark Jackson was there too. Yeah, Walter Berry put up 41 points. He almost outscored Little Rock by himself. Temple UNLV sees UNLV win 85-74. Aaron Grove 17, Banks 24. Perry and Co. for Temple. Bill Cosby will not be happy. Georgetown, Villanova. Can't believe these two teams got drawn against each other. And in the end, Georgetown wins 73-69. Wingate with 14 points. Williams with 21. Villanova with Presley and Jansen still around 16-13. Plansky and Massey and Pennone. Pennone was around for God knows how many years. Western Kentucky, North Carolina, and UNC easily wins. Joe Wolf was there, 20 points. Brad Doherty, number 1 draft pick by the Cavs in the 86 draft. And Kenny the Jet Smith with 10 points. Western Kentucky, 12 from Gordon. Miami, Ohio, GT. And GT crushing the Red Hawks as Harper put up 25 points. Georgia Tech, John Sally, Spider Sally with 15 points. Mark Price with 19. Both future NBA icons. Michigan, Illinois got drawn against each other. And it will be Illinois winning 75-73 as they had some key points. Wade 21 to Tarpley 13. Yeah, those two teams had to qualify, right? Michigan and Illinois. Notre Dame West MSU. And it will be Notre Dame. Hail, hail, Notre Dame. 92-91. Doc Rivers having 21 points. That's the only one I know. Michigan State with Scott Skiles with 33 points. He was a pretty good player. Valentine, too. LSU, NC State. And in overtime, it was NC State 82-81. Well, LSU went to the Final Four as a double-digit seed. No major source. Williams with 26. Washburn had 27. And then he went to the NBA. It was a washout. Nate McMillan, still around 50, no Negro. And Kentucky St. Joseph's, last round 32. Kentucky wins 90-85. St. Joe's couldn't do it. Kenny Walker with only 14. Bennett with 28. 22 from Williams off the bench. But it's not a bench. NC State versus Syracuse. It is, of course, random, if you will. And Syracuse beats NC State. Alexis with 22. Washington with 12. Cycling with only 7. Washburn put up 25 points. They moved only 4 points. Sorry, the cat's making me laugh. Kansas beats Illinois 88-84. Danny Manning with 10 points. Thompson 21. Kellogg with 15. Illinois 33 from Kenny Norman, but in a loss. North Carolina, Iowa State. North Carolina survives 82-81. ISU almost did it. Hornacek and crew. Hornacek only had 2 points in 20 minutes. Well, he had 4 fouls. NC Doherty with 17 points. Katie Smith with 6. So 10 points from Hunter. Next, Memphis Georgetown. And it will be, wow, it went to double overtime. where when Georgetown beat Memphis 114-109. What a long game. Well, Alexander fouled out for Memphis. 5 fouls, you're out in the college game. Wingate, Brownell, Jackson, and McDonald all had 5 fouls, but they still won the game. Scoring wise, Wingate and Williams playing a lot of minutes. Askew playing 44 minutes. Trny played 46 minutes. So that's just amazing. Memphis thought they had him, but Georgetown had to win a double overtime. It's Georgia Tech, Louisville. And it was Louisville who beats GT. Well, Louisville were the champs in real life. GT tried their best. Spider Sally could not do much in 36 minutes of work. 25 for Dibberable. Mark Price having 11 points. Crocodiles at 15 points. Kimbrough 14 points off the bench. Irish and Rebels. And LV wins 78-69 as Aaron Gilliam 17 points. Jones with 29. The Irish captain played 22 minutes, had no points. Barlow played 11 minutes. He had 5 fouls. Well, you can't do that. You can't win when you make stupid mistakes like that. St. John's and DePaul. It would be St. John's with the win over DePaul. As Barry put up 14 points. Mark Jackson with 19. 19 from Cunnies, 14 from Strickland. And the last round of 16 match, Bama survives Kentucky 84-83 in a tight one. 26 from Johnson, 21 from Bennett. Walker only having 12 points. So, yeah. So that's what happens. 3-game quarterfinal. You have Bama versus UNLV. Bama had to win in overtime to force a game 3, and it was Bama. Bama who will make the semifinals. They beat UNLV 82-80. Derek McKee with 20 points, Farmer with 19. LV tried their best, 29 from Jones, but it was 2 LTL. Yeah, Bama had to go to overtime to beat LV, or else they would have been out. Kansas, North Carolina. I can't believe these two teams have to face each other in the quarterfinals. Kansas winning in overtime to force a game 3, in which they lost. So North Carolina wins 91-81. 29 from Doherty in the game. Pitiful game 3. Kellogg 26 for Kansas. Manning only had 13. But remember, this is the team, the 1988 team were the national champs, if you must know. Louisville against St. John's. Louisville had to win in overtime to force a game 3. That's been the narrative. And the narrative gives Louisville the win over St. John's. Well, Louisville almost got taken out by St. John's. Barry with 21, 23 from Wagner. Purvis only had 9 points, but Louisville beat St. John's, survive in advance. And then Syracuse, Georgetown, massive rivalry. And Syracuse sweeps Georgetown to make it to the Final Four. Wingate with 20 points. Syracuse 23 from Cycli, Alexis, and Addison. So it's going to be Louisville versus Bama and Syracuse versus North Carolina. That's going to be a big matchup there, too. Louisville, the only one in the Final Four in real life, so they might have an advantage. In a 5-game series, it's 2-2. Game 3 sees Alabama beat Louisville 80-78. It took 5 games. Bama survives. 27 from Johnson, 20 from McKee. Purvis only had 12. Louisville was up 1-0 and 2-1. I was like, we're going to win. Nope. Bama's like, fuck you. So Louisville will take third because of their Final Four in real life. They'll take third ahead of whoever loses Syracuse, North Carolina. And Syracuse sweeps North Carolina into oblivion by a score of 96-92. So Syracuse will face Bama for the title. 26 from Alexis, 38 from Brad Doherty in a losing cause. He was the #1 draft pick, by the way. So Bama, Syracuse, Bama. Well, they took care of Indiana, Kentucky, LV, and Louisville. So they actually had a pretty good part. Derek McKee, Buck Johnson. Oh yeah, I forgot about Buck Johnson. Syracuse led by, well, they beat Navy, NC State, Georgetown, and North Carolina. So they've had a good run too. Led by Wendell Alexis, Ronnie Cycli, Pearl Washington, who died, what was it, 2009 he died or something? He died young, Ronnie Cycli. So we're in the final, best of 7. And Syracuse takes care of Bama in 5 games. They did lose the middle game, but Syracuse was like, screw you. And this is, of course, 1 year before their 87 squad that lost the final to Indiana. But Syracuse wins. Bama, not too shabby for Bama. They took second. That's a pretty good score for them. Yes, yes, yes. Syracuse, just gonna give you the stats, points per game. Alexis, Washington, Addison, Cycli, Trish. Got Brown, Sherman Douglas playing 12 games, Monroe and Walker, Cullen playing 1 game. And then Alabama, 23 points per game for Buck Johnson. I'm surprised he only played 12 games. McKee, Farmer, Connor, and Godfrey only played 15. Ansley came in. He must have been injured or something. Because why did he only play 12 games? Played Indiana, Kentucky, UNLV 3 times, Louisville 3 times. One of the 5 losses he didn't even take part in, so that's weird. Okay, so they got that going for all right. Congratulations to Syracuse. Now we're gonna have to create a free format. So we're the team pack 88 to 91. Now every school that has had multiple teams winning a title, winning an NCAA berth gets the benefit. So 88, 90, 90, 88 through 91. Well, you got a 4 season thing. So okay, let's see. Alabama's got 2 teams. I think the 90 team was better. Arizona got 3 teams. I think 89 was better. Arkansas got 3 teams. The 90 team. Ball State, Bradley, Clemson, UConn, 1990 because of Tate George, Duke. The 91 team that won the national title, they have to be in. Georgetown, 2 teams, 89, 90, 89. Iowa, we'll go with the 88 squad. Kansas, 87, 88. Obviously, the title. Louisville, I'm going to go 88. Michigan, 89. They did win the title that year. Minnesota, 1990. UNLV, 1990. They did win the national title. North Carolina, 1990, but they made a couple of massive upsets, including one against Oklahoma, who, by the way, 1988, they did make the final in 88. That's why I put them. The 88 Purdue squad, Seton Hall, 1989, they did get to the final. Syracuse, I wish I had the 80. I wish I had the 87 squad, but nope, I don't. 2 Temple squads. I think the 88 squad because Bill Cosby was on one of those. 1990 UCLA and okay. Okay, so what school? Okay, Ball State should get a spot. Bradley, Clemson, yeah. UConn definitely gets a spot. Eastern Tennessee, I think they made an upset. Eastern Michigan, Florida State, no, doesn't get it. Georgia Tech does. They did well. Illinois, they made the Final Four. Indiana, oh, 2 Indianas. I think 91 was better. Kansas State, I don't think deserves it. Louisville has their team. Loyola Marymount, oh yes, they do. Michigan State, oh yes, they do. Missouri, no. Nebraska, no. I thought Nebraska did good to the NCAA tournament 91. 89 NC State, Valvado's final hurrah. Sure, Ohio State 91? No. No. It was like Jerome Lane. If it was 1990, it was 1992, yes, because that team did pretty good. Pretty good. Rhode Island, yeah. Richmond, sure. St. John's, don't think so. Stanford, I think they had something. Lichty. Temple, oh yeah, but Texas, yeah, Texas was pulling ones out of the hat. Utah, Virginia, Xavier, Vanderbilt, Villanova. Well, I could go Villanova. Okay, I make it an even number. We'll go Villanova and Xavier and make it an even number. So it's a 38 team tournament. So it'll be 7, 5, 3, and then everything's a one skis. Yeah. So yeah, there's 38 teams involved. So yeah, if you get one school, you only get one school per thing. Yep. See, and then it tells you the year and all that. But yeah, it's one team per school. and all that. So that's the way I set it up. Eddie, massive things. I'm like, what the fuck? Loyal and Marymount. How the hell did they only have to go to the preliminary round against the next guys? But whatever. So okay, so that's what we'll do. The 88 to 91 tournament will be next in line. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.